for David, thank you for doing what you're doing. I really appreciate that. It takes a lot of great men with a lot of courage to take action, to stay involved in their communities, to give back. And not a lot of people are doing that. And I'm grateful for people that do that, take action. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, David. Thank you. You know, what got me here today, I was going to meet with President Trump, and I met with some other great people along the way, and like you guys right here, I'm really appreciative of being here today. What brought me here, though, from the start of this, I was running for, I announced that I was going to run for Congress against Maxine Waters early in January. And no one knew what was going on in the campaign and everything, so I said to myself, I'm going to run a non-traditional campaign. And for people, it was like, what is a non-traditional campaign? Well, I started going online, doing social media, doing videos, creating content, getting my message out there, and I wanted to get people to hear my message and to listen to it. So I said to myself, what can I do to get people to get engaged in what I'm doing? Well, I show people reality. I show people what I'm doing in the community. I show people how poverty looks. I show people how you get attacked for what you believe in the First Amendment of the Constitution. And so I started doing that, and I started exposing and also going to the welfare office in Inglewood, showing how people are driving Mercedes as welfare recipients. I said to myself, there's a problem there. There's a lot of brokenness within these communities. I'm from the 43rd Congressional District in California. How many of you know what Inglewood, California is? Raise your hand. So, do you guys have good stories to tell about Inglewood? Not lately. But, there's a lot of things, that's one of the cities that I'm running to represent, and along with Hawthorne, Lawndale, City of Torrance, you have Westchester. You have a lot of other cities too, South Los Angeles area. So it's a fairly big district. There's about 900,000 people that live in the 43rd Congressional District. In the past 27 years, no one has challenged Maxine Waters. Can you imagine that, not having a formidable opponent running against you? In 27 years, the past candidates have only raised $10,000. You're not going to beat an incumbent the size of Maxine Waters with 10 grand. It's just not going to happen. I ran before. I've raised $3,000, my own money pretty much, that I put in there. But Maxine spent $650,000 against me. She beat me, but I still got 25% of the vote in one of the most liberal districts in the state of California. And I did something even then. I went out there in my community and I started having conversations with people, building relationships, showing up to every event pretty much. I was going to business events, the Unified Small Business Alliance, which I was one of the co-founders for that group, which has over 3,000 small businesses that are part of it. And I was very involved in that, showing support for small business is important. And that's one of the things that I pushed for in the 43rd Congressional District over the years of being involved in that group. It's been 5 years. Very proud of it. I had a small business myself doing social media marketing. How many of you here know what social media marketing is? So I'll explain. Social media marketing is like, how many of you know what Facebook is? Okay, so you have an idea what Facebook is. So people basically would pay me money to basically create a Facebook account for them and help them market themselves on there. Whether it was for a candidate, whether it was for a restaurant, a small business, or a nonprofit. And that's what I would do in the past 4 years. But I also worked in the past for the district attorney's office. I assisted victims of crimes. I have a degree in criminal justice, which, it was a mission to even get to college and finish it off. I was a business major at the beginning, changed over, and I decided, hey, I want to do something different, just like everybody else. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the process, and I learned a lot from being in government, how much red tape there is, that I wanted to get involved myself and give back to my community. I got the chance to serve as a traffic commissioner in the third largest city in Los Angeles County, the city of Torrance. And it was a pleasure to do that. I had to step down early this year because I had no choice to. My campaign is very important right now. It's taking off, and I want to devote 100% of my time into what I'm doing. The only way to defeat Maxine Waters, to drain the swamp in the state of California, is to devote yourself 100% into something. No one goes into something half-assing it. You go in 100%. And that's what a lot of politicians do, and they make a lot of mistakes, not putting in 100% of themselves into something. You have to devote your time and your effort and energy. You have to put all of it. But A lot of people tell me, how can you do this, Omar? How can you beat Maxine Waters? You know, I'll tell you this. Not a lot of people believe, last campaign I raised $3,000. In the past 6 months, I raised over $100,000. Wow. I have donors from 45 states, 46 states as of today. 46 states. We have donors from 46 states. We have around close to 3,000 donors that have donated to our campaign. And it's just amazing the amount of people. We have donors from Arizona, a lot. So thank you to Arizona. We have a lot of people from Arizona donating money, as well as Utah, Texas, so on and so on. But, I can't do it without you guys. I can't get this job done without you guys. It takes a team of people to get the job done. I have a lot of supporters in the state of California, a lot of people who are just rising up. I have young kids in the 43rd Congressional District that are from Inglewood who have seen me on InfoWars and say, hey, whoa, this guy exists, he's running for Congress. I didn't know he existed. Now I'm getting all these young kids from the Latino, Hispanic community, Black community, who are just coming out and just saying, wow, someone's finally rising up and saying something in the district. And I was very humbled by all of it. Because when I went into this, I walked in with God, and knowing that I was going to get through it with God. And you can do anything through the strength of God. And I truly believe that. And the only way to really get the job done is through Him. So when I put my trust in Him, I know that I can do this. I know that I will be here. Because all the level of work that I put into this from the beginning, from the last campaign, I learned a lot. I learned a great deal about communicating my message, from having relationships with people, and how to convey a message around and showing them how things are happening. Social media. I've had videos that have hit 2 million views. Most of my videos hit over 100,000. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of people and the amount of support I've gotten across the United States, and I'm just happy about that. And I'm just going out there, just being myself. And I think that's the thing. People are tired of seeing politicians. They want to see real people running for office. This is why I supported our president from the very beginning. Because I saw a person that was a real person who was running for president, who I could put my support behind. And I knew this person was going to change our country for the better. And I had faith that President Trump was going to get elected. A lot of people didn't have faith at the beginning, but I knew he was going to become the nominee. I knew he was going to win. I was going to do everything possible to ensure that he was going to win. And boy, we did. And boy, we did. Because I saw something in California I'd never seen before. I saw something in California I'd never seen before. What I saw was a lot of young people rising up, and in a number, I'm talking about in thousands. In the thousands. In San Bernardino, we had a rally in San Bernardino. We had around close to 1,200 people who showed up. 90% of them were millennials. 90% were millennials. 90% in the state of California. This is not a conservative state. This is a very liberal state. But can you believe that 1,200 young kids showed up for an event? Not only that, they've done this and they replicated this in Hollywood. They replicated this in downtown LA. We've replicated this and gotten the amount of support from a lot of different people. We've gone to sanctuary cities in the state of California, city to city, cracking down on them and showing our support for legal immigration. Because my family came here from the northern part of Mexico. They did things right. They didn't break the law. They came here legally. My other side of my family came from Cuba, and they escaped the communist country. But they did things right too. They also came here legally. And it's not that hard to follow the rules and follow the law. You just do it. Something you do. But you have people who don't respect the law, who come into the country illegally. And that is not okay. Why? Well, you're stealing. You're stealing from people who worked hard to come into the country. You're stealing from people that live in the country. And that is not okay. That is not okay by any means. My family taught me to do things right in life, to work hard. They taught me values. They taught me to be persistent at what I want to do. They taught me to have respect for every American that is out there. to have good political discourse, whether you disagree or agree with each other. But I've seen the worst of the worst in California. I've had beer bottles thrown at me. I've been punched. My car has been damaged. My window has been shattered. I've had threats, numerous threats against me for what I believe in, and I continue to do what I'm doing because I'm not going to let these fascists destroy our country. They talk about being anti-fascist. Boy, they're the most fascist people. They are. They really are. They really are. And a lot of young people all over the 43rd Congressional District, they're realizing things like my last event I had in the city of Torrance. They threatened a bowling alley where there are kids. They said that they were going to riot and that they were going to hurt kids and that they were going to do all these bad things to them if they held my event at the bowling alley. They labeled my event, Omar Navarro for Congress rally, a KKK white supremacist event. So, and not only that, my thing was put on a list, and George Soros has been paying attention to my race in a big way, and they're trying to diminish my chances in trying to win in the 43rd Congressional District. And why is that, everybody? Why do you think that's happening? Why do you think that's happening?
You're a threat.
Yes. Not only am I a threat to them, not only am I a real threat to them, they're realizing that Maxine Waters, her time is coming. Her time is coming. Because they're seeing that I'm doing the same thing that Trump did with the rallies going around everywhere. I'm doing that in my district. I'm having rallies from city to city. People are seeing the events. They show up, they say, oh, this is a KKK event, a white supremacist event. No, this is not a white supremacist event. This is not a KKK event. That's not what we're about here. You know, two of my speakers were black. One of my other speakers was Hispanic. I'm Hispanic. You know, and we had another speaker who was Asian. So you're labeling us white supremacists. Really? Okay, well, you can do that. But the people that are around here watching that showed up that thought we were white supremacists now know the truth. And that's what's happening. And that's the amazing part. They are realizing things. They're realizing they're being lied to. They're realizing that Democrats are no longer competent in the state. They're realizing that they have failed them. If you look at the majority of the state of California, from the state assembly, state senate, Congress, the majority of the representatives in the state of California, including Governor Moonbeam, that great governor wants to be the high-speed rail. They have failed us. They have failed us. They are the majority of people in power, including city councils, mayors. They are in charge of the whole state. And I make this point to everybody, every Democrat. Well, what have they done? I mean, I see a drug dealer living across the street. I see gangbangers in the parks. I see roads that haven't been repaired. I see trash all over the place. This is disgusting. And while they live like royalty, while they're eating filet mignon, the rest of the people can't even buy a hamburger. While the median income in my district is $40,000 to live in the 43rd Congressional District, while Maxine Waters lives outside the district, an hour away from the district, next to Beverly Hills and Hancock Park, in a $4.8 million mansion. Whoa. So this is the message that I am sending them, and that message it's a very simple message. It's a very simple message, and when they listen to that message, they're like, "Wow, what have I been voting for?" And I was like, and even the mayor, of LA, Eric Garcetti, lives in Hancock Park too. Living the lavish life while everybody else is suffering. You have homeless veterans in the 43rd. Homeless veterans. We're so worried about taking care of people that are not even legal citizens. But yet, we have homeless veterans in the street. What about them? What about the wives that lost their husbands in war? What about them? And to me, that is saddening. I'm running a good, clean campaign, an innovative campaign, a campaign that's going to change the future of the state of California. I'm confident, and I know, by the grace of God, that I'm going to win. I'm walking with them every day, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to win in the 43rd Congressional District come in 2018. This is the message I send. Everybody that didn't believe in Trump, what happened? He won. It's going to happen in my race. I'm going to beat Maxine Waters. And Maxine Waters is going to be put to retirement.
Yes.